I am Ammar Aljer and I will present the data or knowledge wizard of Polder 2Cs. Why do we need a data or knowledge wizard? Because the amount of the data in the world is enormous, and what human needs is a well-structured data. You need hundreds of thousands of years to watch the available videos in the internet. Pay attention, by the time you finish this video, many thousands of similar videos will be added to the internet. In the era of the Internet of Things, the machines may be programmed in order to automatically generate data, send and receive data. The unit that we use these days to measure the available data in the world is zettabyte. It is almost 10 power 21 bytes. It is very huge. Furthermore, searching, selecting, and extracting knowledge from data need energy, which exacerbates the greenhouse effect. Data centers are responsible for 2% of the global CO2 emission. So, what type of data should we store and in which form? In Polder 2Cs, we propose some principles or a methodology that we apply to transfer the data and the knowledge that was produced in the project. Human who programs the machine or who generates data is the best able to understand the meaning of this data and to predict the users of this data. In such way, the knowledge and the audience will be determined as early as possible. In Polder 2Cs, we were able to store the raw data with the description of this data and to link this data to the survey and to the knowledge that exists in the report that were produced by the project. We found interesting information in the social media groups that were created by the staff. The second thing is a visual interface that facilitates the cooperative creation of knowledge components. In Polder 2Cs, we create this interface. A user or a partner in Polder 2Cs was able to create a component that is related to one of his activities. And by the time he can gradually add data, metadata, achievement, and knowledge related to this activity, to this component, and by the time he can link also this activity to the activities of the others or to his own activities to have a global view of what happened in the project. This was useful for the project management also, to have this global overview of what happened in the project. The third thing is the existing knowledge. To facilitate the understanding of the produced information in Polder 2Cs, we have created a database or a library of the existing knowledge. In a selective way, we choose different types of references, books, videos, articles, scientific articles that are related to the Polder 2Cs topics. And it was presented in an interactive way to facilitate the understanding and to access to these topics. After gathering the knowledge components, they should be communicated to the public, to the target public in a suitable way and in a suitable form. In Polder 2Cs, we have chosen different forms to represent this knowledge. We have chosen, for example, 3D, interactive graph, dependency graph, storybook, etc. Let us now go to the site to show all these aspects. Here is the website of the Polder 2Cs wizard. We are in the main page. The main topics here are existing knowledge, typical experimentation, data and knowledge portal, partner knowledge transfer forms, it is reserved for partners only, and storybook. If we want to have more information about Polder 2C's Interreg project itself, we can go directly to the website of the project using this button. There we can find information about the partners in the project, about the goal, about the experimental site, about the meetings, and the conferences related to Polder 2Cs, etc. Let us start by existing knowledge. As we mentioned before, the existing knowledge is a database of references that are well selected. It is represented using an interactive tree. We can see here the tree. We can see the root to the left and the main branches to the right. As you see here, this tree covers the flood risk management topic. If we want to augment this tree, it is easy. We can add more abstract level, and in parallel, we can create other branches to cover more topics. Now, if we click on one of these topics, we can have a short description about this topic. And if we want to know more about that, we can click on suggested lecture. We can find many references that are well selected regarding the form and the contents. Here, for example, if I want to know more about this topic using only the videos, so I can use the checkboxes to choose the video. I can also choose book, website, paper, scientific article, or etc. I can see here only the videos now, and I can click on one of these videos to have more information about the selected topic.
Climate change is leading to more extreme weather events around the world.
We can stop the video and we can close the window in order to go back to the main page of the data wizard. Now we can start with the second topic, typical experimentation. In the typical experimentation, we can see one of the important experimentations that has been realized on the dike in Polder 2C's project. If we click, we may wait some seconds to let some time to the model to be downloaded. So we see here the experimentation. We see the date, the objective, the procedure, the monitoring, and the outcomes. If we go to the model, we can see here, if we click, we can see the experimental site of Polder 2Cs. If we click on the 3D model, we can see the different layers of the dike, and we can go through the slides to understand the experimentation. It is the erosion experimentation. We can see the equipments, the pumps. We can see also the results of the erosion. We can see also the holes of the animals' burrows. We can see the proposed solution. We can choose one of the elements to be shown. For example, if I want to see the holes of the mole, I can see them. After that, I can see the objective. So we recycled some videos from the WhatsApp groups to explain the objective. The same thing for the procedure. Many sensors were installed to monitor the experimentation. For example, regarding the water level, 3 sensors were installed on the crest and on the foot of the dike. Here we have 3 colors, red, green, and blue. And we have the data issued from these sensors for one of the experimentation. So here we can see all the data represented in an interactive graph. We can zoom on one of these periods and we can see the results. And we can stay on one of these points to have the values, the three values in the same period. And you can stay on one of these points to see the three values of the water level in the same time. The same thing for the velocity of the water. We have informations, a lot of data with interactive graphs, and we have the outcomes. The goal of this representation is to represent the experimentation in 3D with all the related data, with all the media that facilitate the understanding of the context of this experimentation. Let us go now to the third topic, data and knowledge portal. If we click on this link, we can see a list of all the activities that produced data or information or knowledge in the project. We talked about this list in the beginning of this video. We can see here the details of the activity. We can download it also. We can see the start date. We can see the location. Also, we can search on the activities to have a specific activity or a group of activities related to a specific topics or conditions. We can reset the search. We can see a map with the localized activities. We can zoom on this map to get a specific activity. If we want to see this activity, we can click on this activity. We can see its name and we can go to the activity to see the details. We have different information about the activity. We have information about the type of the activity, the name of the activity, the objective, a short descriptor of the activity. We have information related to the time and the space. For example, for the time, we have the start and the end and other information if needed. We have, regarding the location, we have the section, the relative section on the dike, and we have the geographical coordinates. We have also a descriptor because many times it is not enough to represent the location by a point or by a surface, and we have other references if needed. Here we have a description of the data. So if this activity produced data, we have a link to the location of this data. Here, for example, we have a report related to this activity. We come back to the activity. We have here also the relationship with other activities. We can see that this activity is linked to the following activities, and we can go to these activities to know more details about these activities. Also, we have other fields, preconditions, activity descriptor, equipments, monitoring and sensors, limits, what happened during activity, the post conditions, immediate results, etc. There are a lot of fields, and the partner chose the suitable fields to describe his activity. So, if we come back to the list of activities, we can, for example, search. Here we have many fields to filter. I can search an activity that contains a specific word in the body of the activity or in the name of the activity. I can search with a specific ID, with activity type, or with a location in the dike. I can specify a start date or an end date. I can see if this activity produces data or not. I can see if it is related to a specific work package in the project or it is linked to a specific themes. I will search for all the activities that is related to the GPR, ground penetration radar. So GPR, I see many activities that are related to the GPR. In total, I have 6 activities. Now, if I want to see the relations between these activities, I can click in the relations graph. So I can see here these activities. I can zoom to see the relationship between these activities. So I can rearrange these activities if they are not very clear. So I can see that we have a GPR scan and we have a relation here makes part of. So we have 4 activities that makes part of the GPR scan, and we have also other activities like overflow tests. Barrow protection is related also to the GPR scanning, and we have a separate activities. So what does it mean? Here I have an umbrella to group all the activities GPR scan. If I go to this activity, I can see the details, a description of the ground penetration radar and how it works. We can discover the rest of the fields. We have here preconditions, activity descriptor. What is important here, we can emphasize in the equipments, we can see descriptions of the tools that we used to realize the experimentation. And here we have hyperlinks that we added to know more about these equipments. Also, we have information about the monitorings and sensors that we used to realize the experimentations. We have information about the limits, what happened during activity, what about the post-activity conditions. Let us go back to the dependency graph. Here, as we said, we use the GPR scan as an umbrella under which we put the activities. These activities represent the real experimentation inside. It is the choice of the partner to define his umbrella or his activities, or the level of abstraction of his activities. Here, for example, if you want to go to one of these activities, we can click on this one. Here we see that we didn't put a lot of information. We added the localization and the time, but we have a lot of information about the data. We have the photo and video about the experimentation. We have the raw data of the GPR. We have the raw data of another type of GPR. We have the results of the analysis of the GPR. We have many relations to link between activities. The red one here, it is makes part of, so it is a composition relations, but we can define more complex relations. In this example, we use only 2 types of relations. The red one is makes part of. The other one is more generic. It may define each time when we use it, we can put a descriptor to define it. If we click on it, we can see that there is more relations, and we can arrange again the activities in order to improve the vision. Let us now go back to the main page of the data wizard. About the partner knowledge transfer forms, the partner knowledge transfer form is reserved for the project partner. You should have an account to look into it. Any partner can create activities here, can edit activities, can design the architecture of his activities, and can link them to the activities of the other partners. This knowledge forms is the main source of the knowledge database in the project. If we go to the storybook, the storybook contains some of the project results. They are presented as stories that are oriented towards the general public. They contain small paragraphs with videos and photos, no jargon. Enjoy reading and watching these stories. You can see one of them, for example, animal barrows. You can click on the story and you will see more detailed information, so you can go down slowly. You can see the paragraphs, you can see the images, you can see the videos. Hope this was helpful for you. We are still developing this tool. Don't hesitate to send your comments.